This video will help explain all the available tree options. There are 20 main tree options you can choose from, and all of these options will be briefly mentioned in this video. To activate any of the options, double-click on that respective cell. Any individual options will be specific to the active primary person, who is always highlighted in yellow. Some options are more complex and discussed in further detail elsewhere. See the additional help videos for more Family TreeXcel options. Double-clicking this cell will instantly make the designated home person the new primary person, regardless of where you are at in the tree. The default home person is the first person entered into the tree, which should have the ID number 1. To select a new home person, double-click on Find Person, select the person you wish to designate, then click the blue house to make them the new home person. Double-clicking this cell will open the chart selection form. Here you can run all the available charts for the primary person. To create charts for another person, you must close the form, make that person the primary person, then double-click Create Charts again. All of the chart options and types are discussed in more detail in the Chart Options Help video. Double-clicking this cell will open up the form to allow you to create, open, link, or unlink a profile workbook for the primary person selected. A profile workbook is a separate Excel workbook created where you can further detail any portion of the primary person's life, including their education, career, military, or burial. It also allows you to make a summary page of the person and his family. All the profile options in that workbook are discussed in more detail in the Profile Workbook Help video. Double-clicking this cell will open up the form to allow you to search for a person in the tree by their name or ID number. The person you select will become the primary person in the tree. You can also set a new home person on this form as previously discussed. Double-clicking this cell will open up a form giving you 6 options to choose from. Click on that respective option to access that page. Click the Options button to return to the initial selection form. The Places Search option will allow you to see all the places in your tree by their category. For example, birth cities. You can choose your category using the drop-down list here. This will load the places in the green list box. Double-click on a place in the list to see all the people in your tree associated with it. These people will populate in the orange list box. You can double-click on any person in the orange list box to make them the new primary person. You can also modify any occurrence of the places. To do this, select a place in the green list, then enter the replacement value for that place in the blue field. Then hit Replace. This replaces every occurrence of the place with the text entered into the blue field. This is helpful to fix mass misspellings or certain abbreviations. The Vital Search option is exactly the same as the Places Search option, except instead of the places, here you can see all the names and other data in your tree. The County Change option can be used to mass update counties based on the city input. This is helpful if you don't know the county during initial input and want to add it later. Enter the city in the green field, Then enter the county you want to associate to that city in the blue field. Then hit Update. The USA Change option will allow you to mass convert all occurrences of the U.S. state names to their common postal code abbreviation. It will also make all common variations of United States equal to USA, which is the default file name for the U.S. flag. This option is helpful when data is imported with full state names. The shorter abbreviations will make places easier to read on charts, and using USA as the country will allow the flag image to show on charts. To initiate this conversion, click on the flag. It may take a minute or two to make the changes depending on the amount of people in the tree, so please be patient. The Flags option will list all the valid flag image files, allow you to rename a flag file, allow you to add a new flag, and allow you to open the flag directory. A person's birth country must match the file name in order for the flag image to populate on charts. All of the valid flag file names are in the green list box. To rename one of these files to an alternate version of a country name, select the country in the green list box, then enter the new name in the blue field and hit Rename. This only updates the flag image file name, not any data in the tree. Here you can also add a flag to the directory that was not included with the default setup. To do this, click on Add Flag and follow the prompts. Be sure the flag image file is a PNG format. You can also click Open Flag Directory to open the folder with all the flag images. The Surnames option is very similar to the Flags option. Surname images are linked to a family surname. Like a flag, the surname must match the file name exactly for the image to populate on charts. The surname images are displayed on direct line charts only. They can be a coat of arms or any image you want to represent the family line. The surname file must be a PNG file format. You can see the images help video for more details on both flags and surname files. Double-clicking this cell will open up the form, giving you two options to export your tree index. The first option is to export your tree to a blank Excel workbook. Choose this to transfer all of the tree members' data to an Excel table, allowing you to use the sort and filter functions. The index is formatted to print, but there are hidden columns you can access as well. No relationships or macros will carry over with the index. The second option is to export the data to Excel to GED, Excel Workbook. This allows you to create a valid GEDCOM file that you can upload to other genealogy software and websites. This workbook is a third-party workbook with no affiliation to Family TreeXcel. See the GEDCOM export help video for more details on acquiring this workbook and how to use it. Double-clicking this cell will take you to a new worksheet named Designed. Here you can modify the default colors for ancestor and descendant charts. The ancestor colors are on the left-hand side. The description of each ancestor line represented is listed above the color scheme. You can see a default ancestor chart on the far right for reference on what each number would represent. To change the colors, simply click on the cell and fill it with any color of your liking. Once you have chosen the colors, you then must double-click on Update Ancestors to save this scheme setup. If for any reason you want to return to the default colors, just double-click Default Ancestors. The descendant colors are on the right. There are 24 kids maximum. Number 1 will be the color for the first child and their children. Number 2 will be the color of the second child and their children, and so on. Once again, change the cell's fill color to your liking, and then you must double-click Update Descendants. Default descendants will apply the original color schemes. This will not change any fonts, just the background color of the cells in the charts. Remember that the default font color will always be black, so lighter fill colors are recommended. Do not insert, delete, or unhide any columns or rows on this sheet to avoid errors. Once you're done, double-click Return to Tree/Chart to go back to the respective worksheet and close the design page. Any future charts created will now have your established color scheme. You can see the Chart Options help video for more details on this topic. Double-click this cell to change the display format for birth and death dates. The selected format will be used on all applicable charts as well. Some charts only allow room for the years. There are 4 possible formats. The format will not change any marriage dates. They are treated as text, and therefore you have to input those dates as you wish to see them. Double-click this cell to open the form with links to help on the Tree Workbook. Click the Family TreeXcel YouTube button to go to the YouTube channel with all the help videos and examples. Click the Help PDF file button to open the help file that comes with the directory. This PDF also has more specific links to the YouTube videos based on the topic. If the videos and PDF file does not answer your questions, or if you have any other comments, suggestions, or requests, you can feel free to email Mike at familytreexcel@gmail.com. I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Double-click this cell to generate a new tree workbook. The new tree will be completely blank and will not affect the existing workbook you are in. The new file is automatically created in the Family TreeXcel directory. Make sure you do not move the new workbook file from this location in order to avoid errors. This is helpful if you have multiple family trees or if you're using this as a professional genealogist with clients. Double-click this cell to import family tree data from a CSV file created by Gramps. Gramps is a third-party genealogy software that allows you to export your tree data as a CSV file. Family TreeXcel is able to then import the data from that CSV file and automatically populate your tree. At this time, this is only possible with the CSV files created by Gramps and not any other software. Any existing tree data before the import will be erased. This has to be done a specific way, so it is recommended that you save the tree workbook before doing this to avoid any permanent damage to the file. See the Gramps import help video for step-by-step instructions of downloading Gramps and creating the CSV file. Double-click this cell to erase all the data in the current tree workbook. Any pictures, flags, surname images, and profile workbooks created will remain in the directory. However, all the data in the tree will be deleted. You will then be able to start with a blank tree or import data from Gramps. This action cannot be undone. You can double-click on all of the person options to add, edit, link, remove, and delete individuals from the tree. Each option will open an input form for you to enter information and add profile photos. The father, mother, spouse, and child relationships are all based on the primary person, who is always highlighted in yellow. Double-click on a person's name or ID number to make them the new primary person, and navigate up or down your tree accordingly. Using these input forms and entering information is all discussed in detail in the Tree Worksheet and Tree Building help videos. Double-click this cell to put all the tree members in date order from oldest to youngest. To increase speed, members added to the tree are not sorted by their birth dates automatically. If you wish to sort them by their birth years, then you must double-click this cell when you're done entering everyone to do so. Best practice is to do this before creating any charts. When data is imported from Gramps, it will be in birth order.